Okay, let's go. Team deathmatch. Yes.
Match found.
Bedanya di sini, Wan. Balsamic vinegar itu cairannya lebih kental.
Oh, yang tadi itu hitam itu ya?
Cairannya kental. Kalau vinegar biasa kan encer. Biar kental gimana? Sebelum dia jadi difermentasi, dia itu direbus dulu pakai api kecil sampai airnya berkurang sampai kental. Baru difermentasi.
Ultimate orb spawning. Waypoint kill. Flash. Shut down. Cancel.
Revealing area.
New stage intact.
Reloaded.
Stage 2. Come on, get out there. Kill something.
Hai, cuciu.
Obstacle removed.
Cutting their vision.
Hai. Taruh kan. Wah.
Ultimate orb spawning.
Down. Deploying drone.
Turn up.
10 seconds until stage change.
3 gone. Reloading.
Stage 3.
Apa lang ngayon?
Variables removed.
Kaget gua goblok.
Got three.
Jelek. Jelek.
Careful now. Reload him.
What the hell? This is free.
New stage in 10. Final stage.
Initiated.
Apa sih? Nggak kena loh.
Flashbang.
Goblok. Flashbangnya kena orang.
Still in sight.
Oi! Get out of my way!
Charge your ults.
Turret out. Turret destroyed. Reyna killed.
There.
Joke's over. You're dead.
Life begins.
Turret out. Turret down.
Cutting their vision.
Reload him.
Belakang. Depan. Woi, goblok.
Charge your ults. My ultimate's ready. Dart. Silence. One suppressed.
Hei. Jauhnya. Hah? Oh. Tes, tes. Tes, tes.
Match found.
Lotus.
They have no idea how heartless I am.
在家时间多，你在不在家我都先噔敲一下，哎，宾馆服务员不都这样吗？文明礼貌，对不对？现在小哥尝尝啊，妈妈你搞错了吧？他在楼上了。说什么呢？哎，明明。你要走正门啊
Match found.
软不拉几的那个梯子，那上去了下来上去了，多危险呐！那万一摔下来、摔残了、摔废了，怎么进我们俩家门的？害得我还是要伺候你的啊，对吧？
They have no idea how heartless I am.
lucu banget.
我妈让你去学校，别在那摆造型啊。
你终于拥有幸福。
所以你去哪位啊？一个叫明明的肌肉男，听起来怎么都怪怪的。
任何人都不觉得奇怪。
你好干嘛？
清醒！
10点半了啊！吃完橘子马上回自己的屋子睡觉啊！哎，最多再10分钟，听到没有？10分钟啊！
Kombucha itu apa kan?
Hah?
Kombucha itu apa?
Kombucha itu ya yang fermentasi itulah, asem-asem gitu. Teh ya, teh yang difermentasiin.
Teh.
没16，啊不，亲家婆，你是来约我谈婚期的吧？
那个谁，我今天啊和你说句大实话，你儿子明明呢，真是个好孩子。哎呀，这么好的孩子，
Grace has
有
no
你这么一个
patience.
爸爸，
Wait till her explosions and strike when she's empty.
我有你这么一个亲家，我心里头也是不舍的。 谁让我女儿喜欢你儿子呢？
这对的嘛，只要儿女喜欢就好了，对吧？
哎，不过你儿子在我面前打过光面宝，结婚以后你是你，他是他，你明白的啊？你懂的啊？农历不行。
这么听你话的。
那当然了，我平时对他也好，孩子们。 相处就得互相尊重，你尊重他呀，他也尊重你了呀，对吧？
教教我，跟海豚要
这我不知道。这场戏我倒是有经验，我有资格说。如果你想要，
Spike down B.
Ngapain kunci goblok?
Siapa?
One enemy remaining.
Pineapple.
They were not good enough.
Kelihatan nggak ini ngapain?
I never thought I'd have beef with myself, you know?
Nanasnya sebelumnya dicuci ya tadi ya, dikerimin. Habis itu baru dikupas. Kan goblok.
你想想啊，那结婚的时候，你这么做人，人家肯定愿意认你的呀。
Enggak, justru kan habis. Siapa yang nyuci kulitnya lagi habis sudah dikupas? Yang di dalamnya juga kan nggak dicuci lah.
For you,
要
Herman.
不这样，我帮你在明明面前去复述，然后多留着那个啊，这位啊。
Dia mau bikin pineapple. Pineapple.
Last player standing.
Enemy down.
留下来这么开心，唱这歌去了。
Spike planted. Look your enemy in the eye. It helps with accuracy.
Kalau lu nanti parut ya kalau bikin asal ya.
看来要是说不准备操作了。
Parah ini. Dibilangnya malah kelamaan.
Lamaan keringnya loh. Ya sama, coba.
Spike down B.
Barrier created. Here.
Last player standing.
马桶冲不下去，大白天窗帘关得死死的。
30 seconds left. Spike planted.
老师，开窗帘。可以了，杨叔叔。那有什么问题吗？
知道我不会用这些个智能的东西，
Kill them.
Okay, nice try.
杨叔叔，这个房间
Move in after I strike. That's
跟我
when's
可
it
没有
win.
关系，赖不到我头上的。
走，早晚被你气死。我好不容易出来，这个房间里面比监狱还可怕。不要给我今天是智慧啊！你太恶毒了你！我说你这样的话，你也不让我儿子跟你在一起。
乔振宁小的时候，没有任何人帮忙，他自己一个人拔了牙齿，撑到肚子，才走到了这里。可比您今天困在这个房间里难多了。现在您因为这么点困难，就大呼小叫起来了。
是你来唱黑脸教育我是吧？我知道，年轻的时候我是不靠谱、害羞善良。可要说我对儿子不是真心的，我不希望他好到。
Spike planted.
我这次回来就是想好好的改，好好的过。
Lights out. My ult's
每
ready.
个人都有自己的苦衷。只要对于那么小的情况，就离开了。没有锻炼好良好的亲子关系，如今想回来就回来了。想享受天伦之乐。
Last player
Apa
standing.
sih?
Oh yeah! Monster on the loose!
What's more, it's I'm not tired. Are you?
刚刚您才说想为他好，想要改变，连换个手机都做不到吗？有了这个手机，可以之前的微信，不光可以联系到他，还可以看到他的朋友圈，这样下去，你们父子之间的关系就拉近了。那这就是第一步。
我要是这样做，
您看那个，您儿子在那看着您呢，说是小儿子不用打。
Many enemies A.
One dead.
Enemy A.
小胖在这里。 Udah mau jam 10
Spike planted.
Iya terus.
Last player standing. One enemy remaining. Cutting their vision.
Never show weakness. Ever.
我本来就想在酒店给客人做一个品鉴沙龙的，他不是喜欢享受吗？那就把他享受这一点发挥到所有的地方。
我知道你是好心，但你可要注意，千万别对他老亲对他们自己动。
放心吧，我可是一点都不想劝你原谅他，我只是提供了一个可能性。我给他结了日结公司，至于他能不能通过考核，想一想。
Someone's there. Enemies are A.
这有什么委屈的？我跟人家是在他这么多年，我自己相处，我不跟人
I'll have
Apa sih?
enemy spotted A.
Sana, sana.
Decoy.
Last player standing.
麦总，我干的还可以吧？
不得不说，您这是享受生活这个尊严啊！
这回不用你钱，我有钱，我有工资。
Remember to talk to each other out there. If we communicate, we win.
哥哥，他是
上海有宝箱，本方闪击，上有美景景，红烧肉，生死贵。好，就这些。
好，
Hey, other me. Sorry in advance.
They will cover! See nothing.
Reloading.
Ya ampun. Orang baru nyalain ulti.
Oh yeah! Monster on the loose!
Last player standing. Spike planted.
She's still gunning for you.
No more doubts. We're ready.
我的这个学校是看他们情况的分成，要不都是我带了好几个，再喝点。
Right there. Embarrassing.
这是我
Decoy.
我从一个朋友那儿拿的，
Fire in the hole!
我一说多，送的都是这些，我觉得太正常。
So recently someone asked, is it okay to consume balsamic vinegar?
Spike planted.
So I told her to start reading the labels because they vary. Okay, like here's the breakdown right here. In this entire container, there's actually 33 servings, okay? 1 tablespoon equals 1 serving. So in 1 tablespoon, this has 3 grams of sugar. Now this next one right here has 4 grams of sugar. Okay, it's pretty high.
所以我现在回来，
Here's one right here that
Cutting their
has
vision.
5 grams
Raised
of
in.
sugar per tablespoon.
Last player
Others have
standing.
9 grams of sugar
1 enemy
per
remaining.
tablespoon. That is way, way too high. What you have to realize is there's no fiber. This is just pure liquid, and it's going to spike your blood sugars because it's high on the glycemic index.
Shoot the
Now,
bad
it's
guys.
true that
How's
you
that
are
for
allowed 20 to 50 grams of carbs per day. But just realize, we're talking about low glycemic type carbs. We're not talking about something high on the glycemic index. It's much better if you use apple cider vinegar, which has 0 carbohydrates and 0 sugars. Okay? Now, if you still want to use balsamic vinegar, make sure you read the label and get the one that's only 2 grams per tablespoon. Now, if you've been having a hard time losing weight and getting into ketosis, this could be the culprit right here, because it was actually quite surprising how much sugar that a lot of these brands have.
Inside.
Okay, I'll see you next video.
Enemy spotted A.
So I'm really excited to tell you about a new contest that started that revolves around our subscribers.
Spike down A. Last player standing.
报存的就。
Cutting
What
through.
even is vinegar? I mean, I know it literally means sour wine. So when I open up a bottle of wine, but I don't drink all of it, and then it starts to taste kind of sour after a few days, is that vinegar? Well, kinda. At least it's the start of
Let's talk.
That is exactly what happened a few years back to the author of this book, Vinegar, The Eternal Condiment by Reginald Smith. Here he is. I had a coworker that introduced me to home brewing, and so I thought I could make a maple wine and maple syrup, and it tasted absolutely horrible. And so I left it on my counter over Christmas vacation. And when I came back, there was a layer on top of it, a gelatinous layer. And looking up, I realized it was a mother of vinegar. Smith's little discovery there was basic.
Enemies are B. It's all you, little
Benar
homie. Trash guy
It's the same
hit.
one made by ancient Babylonians some 5,000 years previously, and then by ancient Egyptians, Chinese, Greeks. Basically everybody figured this out because it's simply inevitable. You make some kind of sweet drink, maybe a fruit juice or a wort made from grain, and then as it kind of sits around, yeast that are ubiquitous in the environment come in here, basically poop out alcohol. You have a taste and you know
Cutting their vision. Spike planted.
You feel funny, which you really like, so you keep it around.
Last
But
player
as it
standing.
continues to sit, a different class of microorganism from the environment settles in here, a class of bacteria known as acetobacters. And they eat some of the alcohol and then basically eat out acetic acid. And if they're really happy, they decide to settle down and build themselves a really high, this is called the mother create bacteria outline or alcohol. The acetic acid bacteria form together and they begin producing cellulose, which is the same compound that makes leaves, grass, by like an environment for themselves. That helps them to get air from the environment they need to make vinegar, as well as contact the alcohol in the brew they need to make vinegar as well. And if you're an ancient Babylonian, you maybe push this creepy layer aside to get yourself a swig of your drink that makes you feel funny. You think, this tastes really sour now, and it's not making me feel funny anymore. It sucks. But I've got some bland hunk of beast over here, or maybe one that tastes kind of off. I wonder if I can make it taste better by pulling on some of my sour juice. And indeed, it does taste good. And a few more happy accidents later, you realize that if you leave your food in your sour juice and seal it away from air, your food doesn't spoil. Pickle isn't a liquid that's too acidic for other microbial life. And as a result, you survive through the lean times when there isn't much food growing. I wonder if I can make it taste better by pouring on some of my sour juice. And indeed, it does taste good. And a few more happy accidents later, you realize that if you leave your food in your sour
Monster
juice,
on the loose!
Spike planted.
liquid that's too acidic for other microbial life to survive.
Last player standing.
Somebody's there. Wingman's defusing. The wingman, blow him up, Mush.
Joke's over!
Rash isn't done with you.
Team A.
Figure, hey, I just let it go. There was nothing in. And 2 months later,
Last round in the half.
This is it.
So I
Get
figured,
those
hey, here's
guns.
something I am good at. Quite good, actually. So much so that he started his own company. Just outside Philadelphia. He makes all kinds of boutique vinegars and also supplies mother of vinegar to other vinegar makers. Instead of just waiting around for acetobacters in the environment to colonize your alcohol, it's much faster to just drop in a hunk of mother. Why do they call it mother? I am your mother. Mother of vinegar was not known to be made from bacteria until the late 19th century. It was pasteurized. Before that, they didn't know what it was. They guessed it was alive, but they called it a mother because they knew that if they transferred that mother from one line to another, it started a fermentation. Another thing that ancient people figured out through experimentation is that at some point in the vinegar making process,
Spike down A.
seal off the vinegar from the oxygen.
Get him, buddy.
Figured out through experimentation is that at some point in the vinegar making process, you have to stop.
Your duty is not over.
Who killed me?
You will not kill my allies.
Got him.
Last player standing.
Air, the bacteria will use this alcohol left in the vinegar and once that seal off the vinegar from the oxygen that the acetobacters need. It is left open in air. The
Switching
bacteria will
sides.
use any alcohol left in the vinegar and once that's
The dimensional
gone,
fabric here is thin.
they don't just die. They start eating the vinegar itself, breaking it down, because you only have water left. And so over time, that'll weaken the vinegar until it's not usable or maybe spoiled. You can see Smith here doing various chemical tests to see if his vinegar is ready to seal off. He's measuring the pH, trying to get the acetic acid content to 5, 6, maybe 7% by volume. Above 7%, it'll burn your mouth pretty badly. So when the numbers are looking good, the vinegar maker seals the product off from the air in a barrel or a bottle or something. And that's when the flavor will really stop that by volume. Above 7%, it'll burn your mouth.
Spike down A. Out of charges. Raise it. Spike down A. Last player standing. One enemy remaining.
Acetic acid content to 5, 6, maybe 7% by volume.
Grab the spike. You should stop trying.
I don't know why the rest of us
celebrated vinegar in the world. Balsamic, basically a sour syrup. They called it balsamico because it reminded them of a balsam, that is a resin taken from various
No
plants
prisoners.
and used to make perfumes, cosmetics, or medicines, balms. They weren't
Right
saying
there.
this vinegar is a balm, but rather it's like a balm. Just like nobody's saying that this coffee literally contains chocolate and hazelnut, but
Enemy spotted A.
Wingman's planting. It's all you, bud.
Having their vision.
multiple enemies A.
Still inside.
trade is a way for you to discover new coffees from the top. You can get by producing coffee, and it sure is additional balsamic vinegar. And you're mentioned in this
Last player standing.
off your first bag. Free shipping included. Anyways, balsamic vinegar. The first solid historical mention of this stuff goes back to 16th century.
One enemy remaining. My old friend.
That's the primary place it's made. And balsamic vinegar, instead of using wine vinegar,
Let's ruin their day.
which is pretty much boiled down grape juice, which is then fermented into vinegar. And not only that, the most traditional balsamic vinegar, which is also very expensive, is aged over at least 12 years successively into vinegar. And not only that, the most traditional balsamic vinegar, which is also very expensive, is aged over at least 12 years in successively small wooden barrels made of different woods. Now look at these barrels. No seal is 100%, so the vinegar slowly evaporates and reduces as it ages. Once a year, they remove a smaller barrel of different wood from which to extract different flavors. This is oak, juniper, ash, cherry, etc. Now I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, how is this?
Spike down A.
Long process. Well, stuff made by that process absolutely is not cheap. This is not that. There's a cheaper balsamic vinegar called balsamic vinegar Modena, which is pretty much mixed with red wine vinegar and aged for about 60 days, and that's the vinegar which leads to the market. Okay, so now I think I know another thing.
Last player standing. Spike down A.
Or in the case of distilled vinegar, it's made from a distilled spirit. Hooch. The hooch can't be super high alcohol, too high, and no bacteria can survive in it. Booze, and then you see the back. Distilled vinegar is made from a distilled spirit.
Match point.
My city needs me. I can't be away for long.
Hooch.
It's
The
in
hooch can't be
this
super high alcohol. Too high and no bacteria can survive in there. It's got to be watered down and it... Maybe 10% booze and then the acetobacters can get to work. But regardless, vinegar is always made from distilled vinegar. It's made from a distilled spirit. Hooch. The hooch. Balsamic vinegar Modena, which is pretty much mixed with red wine vinegar and aged. It's messed with which leads to wine.
Having their vision.
You're thinking, wait a minute, is vinegar an alcoholic beverage? I mean, it's made from what? Wine or beer, or in the case of distilled vinegar, it's made from a distilled spirit. The hooch can't be super high.
Oh yeah! Monster on the move!
It's got to be watered down to maybe 10% booze and then the doctors can get to work.
Last player standing.
Always made from alcohol.
One enemy remaining.
Significantly less wholesome processes, but in most countries you can't sell them as vinegar for food. Food-grade vinegar is always made from alcohol. Has for centuries presented an interesting
I am not
conundrum
just
in
your
the
healer.
Islamic world where intoxicants are strictly forbidden. It's a matter of scripture that the
The
Prophet
symphony
Muhammad
of
himself
death.
loved vinegar, but to
Great
this
to
day,
get
you can
used
find
to.
discussions online where Muslims are debating whether and which kinds of vinegar really are halal. Oh, there's our friend Reggie chiming in. As he explains in his book, the way vinegar is historically manufactured in the Islamic world is through a process of double fermentation. The juice goes in the barrel and it doesn't come out until it's vinegar. There's no intermediate step in which you have a stable wine. The fermentation of the sugars into alcohol can overlap somewhat with the fermentation of the alcohol into acid until it's vinegar. There's no intermediate step in which you have a stable wine. The fermentation of the sugars into alcohol can overlap somewhat with the fermentation of the alcohol into the acid, but at some point in the process, there's going to be a lot of alcohol in the barrel, and there is going to be some amount of alcohol left in this finished vinegar.
You want to make sure the alcohol's not completely gone, but down to like between 0.2 to 0.4% alcohol volume. That's enough alcohol to get some flavor to vinegar, but it's not so little.
Still inside. One enemy remaining.
Here, my ultimate is ready.
Wingman's gonna plant spike. Show him up, man. Spike sticky. Thanks, little man.
Pissed me off.
Vibe check. We feeling good? Hope so. Hope so.
For you, hermanita.
Many enemies.
Enemy spotted. Open up the sky.
You want to make sure the alcohol's not completely gone, but down to like between 0.2 to 0.4% alcohol by volume. That's enough alcohol to give some flavor to the vinegar,
That's
but it's
spike,
not so little that the bacteria start cannibalizing the vinegar.
Don't go raiding your parents' pantry trying to get buzzed off of vinegar. When something has less than alcohol in it, like this does, your body simply wouldn't be able to absorb the alcohol faster than it. But at some point in the process, there's going to be a lot of alcohol in the barrel, and there is going to be some amount of alcohol left in the finished vinegar.
You want to make sure the alcohol's not completely gone, but down to like
Reloading.
between 0.2 to 0.4%
Up you go.
alcohol by volume.
You will not.
Alcohol to give some flavor to the vinegar, but it's not
One enemy
so
remaining.
little that the bacteria start cannibalizing the vinegar.
Reloading.
Last enemy taken.
I'll teach them to respect their elders.
Kita itu bisa rusak ternyata ya.
Gun here.
Oh,
Gun here.
kamar.
Who are getting ideas. Don't go raiding your parents' pantry trying to get buzzed off of vinegar. When something has less than 0.5% of alcohol in it, like this does,
Reloading.
your body simply wouldn't be able to absorb the alcohol fast enough as you digested the stuff in order to make it intoxicating. Plus, I think if you chug a whole bunch of this, you can see
My
it
old
again
friend.
really
Right there.
But raw vinegar generally requires alcohol as a precursor. The process of transforming said booze can take many forms. Case in point, Reginald Smith's personal favorite anecdote from the history of vinegar. The French Navy during the 7 Years' War used vinegar to swab the decks of its ships. Which meant that some buy vinegar for the Navy. And the people on the contracts, like many people read war contracts, were not completely scrupulous. And so what they tried to do is they tried to pass on wine. They had a little bit of vinegar to make it acidic, to pass on this vinegar to sell to the Navy.
Yeah, it's like that.
One enemy remaining. Last player
Try
standing.
that one at home, but But here's something you can try. Right back where we started, the wine has been left open for a few days. Is it vinegar? Not quite. There are a few other chemical reactions that can make this taste sour before it really starts becoming vinegar. And that process may be delayed by a class of preservatives.
Defenders win.
Sulfites. Since ancient times, winemakers have added sulfites to keep their wine from turning into vinegar. This will be delayed by a class of preservatives used in wine called sulfites. Since ancient times, winemakers have added sulfites to keep their wine from turning into vinegar. Exposed to air in an open bottle, those sulfites will slowly break down, but you can speed that process with a standard 3% drugstore solution of hydrogen peroxide, about half a teaspoon per bottle of wine. Pour it in, shake it up, and after a few minutes, the peroxide and the sulfites have basically destroyed each other. Then you gotta cut your wine with an equal part of water. Most wine on the shelf has a high enough alcohol concentration to kill bacteria. You either have to wait for some of the alcohol to evaporate off, or you can dilute it. Then you just wait for wild acetobacters to come along.
It can take a little bit longer, and sometimes can be less reliable. But wild fermentation is how vinegar. Was made for much of history.
But the sure bet would be to seed your wine with some mother. In my case, I bought some apple cider vinegar with live mother in it. That's the stuff on the bottom there. Shake up the bottle to get the mother redistributed. Smith recommends about 8 ounces of this for some apple cider vinegar with live mother in it. That's the stuff on the bottom there. Shake up the bottle to get the mother redistributed. Smith recommends about 8 ounces of this for a bottle of wine. Cover that with some breathable stuff, and a couple of weeks later, your mother is on top, and right under that is your vinegar. Keep it sealed in an airtight container in a nice dark pantry, and it can last for as long as humans have and will use vinegar to make their food safer and tastier. Vinegar, the eternal condiment. Also, coffee, the eternal beverage. Thanks again to Trade for their sponsorship. Get 30% off your first bag with mine.
Match
Mike
found.
Here, and today, vinegar. It might be a processed food, which might make you think that it's automatically unhealthy and evil, like some other processed foods. But no, in this case, it breaks all of the rules and has a slew of health benefits. You might have heard a little bit about some, but we're going to go into a bunch of different interesting ones and research on those benefits that you probably haven't heard. And we'll talk about areas that I just didn't expect, like PCOS and depression, but also we'll look into some mechanisms on some more basic subjects like weight loss and blood sugar and insulin and cholesterol and that good stuff. We're also going to be asking questions like, what is the best type of vinegar? Which one has the most antioxidants? And really, what is vinegar anyway? Let's just get to it. And just super duper fast, this video is sponsored by Thrive Market. And if you click my link below, you can get 30% off your first order, as well as a free gift worth up to $60. All right, now vinegar is, again, a processed food, and it's actually at the point where by certain definitions, it almost becomes a ultra-processed food. From this paper, it does match some characteristics, like typically contain no whole foods, check. They typically are not recognized as versions of food. You wouldn't be able to tell that apple cider vinegar from an apple. And I will say, in general, I mean, I'm espousing a whole food vegan diet, and I'm all about getting as many whole foods as you can in there. But we have to just face the music sometimes and look at what the research says about perhaps a certain outlier food, and in this case, it's vinegar. I can see the headlines now. Mike the vegan goes against his own recommendations for processed food and recommends let's burn his whole food vegan cookbook. Oh wait.
Jamin gendong apa sih, Beb?
Alright, real fast, let's learn more about
Cici mau beres 2.
Match
Rank apa Kak? Gold.
You already know it's acidic, and in particular, it's acetic acid, and it's not 100% acetic acid that you're tending to use. Usually vinegars that you buy are like 4 to 8% of that acid, and the rest is water.
Yeah, so my friend said, can I have a trial first?
Lu mau trial apa? Lu lihat aja testimoninya di IG-nya, gituin aja.
Mereka nggak ngeliat posternya, nggak ngeliat ujungnya.
Suruh lihat IG.
Mereka cuma lihat posisinya, taruhnya aja.
Suruh lihat.
IG-nya ada dikasih link nggak? Kasih link.
Ada bulat-bulat tulisannya testimoni, gampang kelihatan.
Muka mereka kayak males-males gitu.
Jadi bilang aja maunya yang gratisan punya. Suruh lihat di IG show.
Learn more about what vinegar actually is, because I do think that's important. You already know it's acidic, and in particular, it's acetic acid, and it's not 100% acetic acid that you're tending to eat. Usually vinegars that you buy are like 4 to 8% of that acid, and the rest is water. So yeah, maybe some of the health benefits we're going to learn are just from people finally getting hydrated in a society where they drink like no water. I'm kidding, it actually is the acetic acid. So the question is, how is it actually made? Well, most but not all is actually taken from a carbohydrate product that is then fermented into alcohol, which we know is not healthy, and then taken a step further by using acetobacter bacteria, and that turns the alcohol into acetic acid. And fun fact, vinegar actually comes from these two words, which is pronounced that way, which is actually French for whale pee. Now you know. I'm joking, it's French for sour wine, so you know some dude just let his wine go way too far, but he desperately wanted to drink it anyway, and he did.
What is this? It tastes like whale pee. And why is my blood sugar stabilizing?
And another interesting thing from a macronutrient perspective is you have those carbohydrates, which are initially up to 4 calories per gram when they're refined, and then that goes into alcohol, which is up to 7 calories per gram, and then that's further processed into vinegar, which is about 3.5 calories per gram.
Bro, soalnya pakai trial, dasar suruh buka IG no testimoni ya. Iya sayang, udah sayang.
Further, and then boom, all of a sudden it's health benefits.
Dirangka enak bener kali trial, bilang aja maunya langsungnya gratis.
Well, a lot of outlets will actually point to the antioxidant benefits of vinegar. However, they're not responsible for a lot of the direct effects. Of course, they are beneficial, so we can look at which vinegar has the highest antioxidant content. Starting with a study like this one, you can see that, yeah, apple doesn't do
Spike rush.
as well as grape-derived vinegar.
Sangka apaan kali ya? Pengen dikeplak palanya.
Look at this study, this chart, which has a widespread breakdown of vinegars and antioxidant power. You can see that red wine vinegar is better than white wine, and that real Italian Modena balsamic vinegar crushes it with, about 2.5 times the antioxidant power of
Get inside.
vinegar.
Fight! Hit! Part 2. We meant it. You're blind with fear. One enemy remaining. My ult ready.
And case you're wondering the process for
We'll catch
making
them.
that Italian vinegar, yes, here's a clip of it. It does involve barrels, just as you would think. But I said vinegar is usually from alcohol, but in the case of balsamic vinegar, they have to put that acetobacter right in.
Reloading.
Let that do its work. So
Their
it's a
heart
different
rate just
process.
went up. Reloading.
Aged for up to decades.
Reloading.
It becomes more thick and syrupy. We have a large spectrum of how expensive and how potent balsamic vinegar can be. But because of that type of processing, it still has some carbohydrates in it. And we also have another interesting one here, strawberry vinegar, which from this
Enemy A, right there.
yeah, does have about the same
Apa sih?
as balsamic vinegar. And finally, if you're
Right there.
a large spectrum of
Right there.
balsamic vinegar can be, but because of it still has some carbohydrates in it.
I'll take it.
Yikes.
We also have another
Blocking sight.
here, strawberry vinegar, which from this study does have about the same antioxidant
Enemy B.
capacity as balsamic vinegar. And
Last
finally,
player
the
standing.
apple cider vinegar, we'll cover some studies on that. From this study, it appears that artisanal apple cider vinegar has about twice as
30
much
seconds left.
antioxidant capacity as industrial apple cider vinegar. Okay, now a quick break from our sponsor, Thrive Market, which, if you didn't know, is a online membership-based market, which has
Kalau mau
a
sopan
bunch
bilang
of
aja
food
gini,
options as
sore ya
well
masa
as
trial udah lewat.
cosmetics, etc.
Oh.
What I always have to point out about Thrive is that you can just
Ya Shushu mah ngomongnya mah
search
sopan
based on
Shushu mah.
category of vegan, which can be super convenient for new vegans, and also people that might live in sort of vegan specialty vegan too. Any that orders over $49 is free, and those are from their zero waste facility.
Last round before the switch.
Gecko, fuerte y feroz. They will not hesitate.
Itu kan untuk yang mes itu gede. Kan ini kan private bobot gitu. Bilangin kalau masih butuh trial, bilang trialnya udah lewat. Sekarang itu tuh yang berbayar punya, nggak ada lagi yang trial.
Lu nggak bisa, lu kalau pengaruhi orang dari satu komunitas, ya lu dapet komunitas itu sudah benar, bisa dapat testimoninya dari temennya. Lu harus bikin trial di sana dari dia, dari teman-temannya. Kalau nggak bakal betul nih orang, lu nggak jalan. Kalau cuma ngandelin
One enemy remaining.
kamu dikasih jalan gratis, ya udah sekali ini itu aja.
$60. Alright. Alright, now I'm starting to help
Fire in the hole!
that this is a benefit, but there are interesting nuances.
Ini kita temennya Susu lain tahu. Kalau cuma ngandelin itu nggak bakal. Lu mau cari temennya yang bawel, yang ngomong
There you are,
kemana-mana.
you shit.
Switching sides.
Meta-analysis found that vinegar blunts the blood sugar and insulin spikes after meals in both healthy and diabetic individuals. In fact, it can work almost too well on people with diabetes. They need to make sure their blood sugar isn't brought down lower than they want it to be, and just to look at a study in Virginia. Blunted the blood sugar spike after a high glycemic meal specifically. You can just see that chunk taken out, which is huge. But then a low glycemic meal didn't see a difference really, which is an interesting thing to note. And they found the same thing for insulin. It comes down much faster with that vinegar, which is cool. But what about markers that aren't meal dependent? Is it just an acute effect that happens?
One enemy remaining.
This 2020 meta-analysis out of Stanford. Vinegar also resulted in significantly better fasting blood glucose and hemoglobin A1C level, which again is a marker
Match
of
point.
blood sugar level. Here, and you have few studies, we got this 2001 Japanese studies on individuals with obesity, which found that it did help. People lose about 2 kilograms.
Spike planted. Last player standing.
Saw you, little homie! Fresh hit him!
One enemy remaining.
Good for 3.
6, maybe 7% by volume. Above 7%, it'll burn your mouth pretty badly. So when the numbers are looking good, the vinegar maker seals their product off from the air in a barrel or a bottle or something. And that's when the flavor really starts to develop as it ages for months or even years, as in the case of perhaps the most celebrated vinegar in the world, balsamic. Sour too. They call it balsamico because it reminded them of a balsam that is a resin taken from various plants and used to make perfumes, cosmetics, or medicines, balms. They weren't saying this vinegar is a balm, but rather it's like a balm. They say that this coffee literally contains chocolate and hazelnut, but rather it's reminiscent of those things. And I'm quite enjoying it thanks to the sponsor of this video, Trade Coffee, whom I'll now briefly thank. Trade is a way for you.
You want to play? Let's play.
Right there.
Hi! I'm pissed!
Nightmare.
This is up! Somebody's there.
Spike planted.
Right there. Enemy B.
Enemy spotted A.
One enemy remaining.
My ult's ready.
Crash is ready. Saw you, little homie! Reloading.
Poison orb emitting.
My buddy's defusing. No button. Save the day.
Defenders win.
Poison's off.
Kenapa nggak kompe? Besok kuliah pagi-pagi, jadi kalau mau kompe waktunya sangat-sangat tidak bagus.